evening, all amateurs. This is Victor Echo 3 India Uniform Kilowatt, Bill in Dundas. And I'm your host this evening for the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. This net meets 5 times a week, 4 times on the Soul Repeater on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesdays. Monday night, it's hosted by Chuck, VA3CJZ, and it's called the Accidental Net, or sometimes we like to call it the Oopsie Net. Thursdays, the net is a simplex net to give people a chance to test their equipment, and that is hosted by a real Mac, a VA3IMW, and that is on a frequency of 446.125. When checking in, mobile stations do get priority, and I hope everybody is snug as a bug in a rug tonight. Looks like our snow is going to start around about 4 a.m. if you look at the radar. So, by the looks of it, we're in for at least 20 centimeters of snow. So I see that Guy is checked in, and good evening, Guy. At this time, let's take a standby for any priority or quick one-and-done traffic. VA3IUK standing by. All right, nothing heard. I also see that Mac is checked in on YouTube. Everybody, don't forget to, when you check in, one of the first things you should probably do is hit the like button. That way you're not forgetting to do it as the net goes on. So maybe that's a practice we could start, because I'm sure that Mac would like all those likes, and I also see that Larry, V3LBI, is checked in. So this time, let's stand by for anyone who would like to check into the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. Come now.
Check me in, Bill. VA3NFL.
VA3NFL, VA3IUK. Good evening, Al. How you doing?
Doing good, Bill. Bonsoir. I thought I'd throw that in there. Doing good, Bill.
Yeah, maybe I'll surprise you all and learn French. It's something I never had the opportunity to take in high school, but you're never too old to learn, Al.
I can count to 10 in French. Do some colors. Whatever Chuck says, I look it up and try to remember it, but same old, same old. Just out here listening along. VA3IUK, VA3NFL.
Yeah, well, that's usually done by rote. So good for you, Al. That's a good way to exercise the memory, which they tell us that's what us seniors should do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
All right, well, thanks for checking in. Anything else?
No, good to go. I'll be listening out here for a bit.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're waiting for the dinner bell.
Oh, yeah, 8 o'clock. I'm nowhere to be found but at that kitchen table.
That boy, good for you. Well, thanks for taking the time to check in. Anyone else from Lake Ontario Radio Club net? Come now.
VA3IMW.
VA3IMW, VA3IUK. Good evening, Mac. And before I forget, which maybe you probably haven't, but I'll remind you, maybe you can elaborate on what we were talking about last night on the Rag2 net as to the spring get-together. And I understand you also had a very good day on the HF bands, as I did as well. So, good evening, Mac, and hope you had a good day.
We did indeed. I accomplished nothing useful today, which meant I spent most of the day down here by the fireplace and in the HF radio. So, quite a few good contacts all over North America, and reached down into Brazil for a nice 10-meter contact as well. Tried listening for Hawaii. Things weren't kind of perfect in that instance, but I could almost tell that they were there. The frequency was a little noisy. You ever spin the dial and you hope to hear the station you're looking for, but you find out that there's some incidental radio noise, just keying in on that one frequency. It's a little bit annoying. Anyways, yeah, the discussion last night was quite interesting, and it sounds like we have pretty much an agreement from everybody that we shift our quarterly get-togethers from the season change dates to coincide with the Parks on the Air Support Your Parks weekend. So that serves double duty for our activators and our hunters. So that in itself is a big bonus. And obviously, springtime coming along and doing this in, I guess it's April, allows things to warm up, and potentially we have a little bit better weather. However, April showers do bring Mayflowers, so we'll have to make sure that we've got our umbrellas at the ready. Other than that, Bill, yes, we both had a fairly good radio day. Despite the winter field day antics and the usual clamor on the bands that we usually see occupied. But 12, 15, and 17 meters were quite productive, and minimal interference from other stations. Thanks again for doing this one, Bill, and I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah, Roger, Mac, yeah, it was a good day. As I was saying to you prior to that, most of my contacts, believe it or not, today were on 15 meters. I think followed by probably 20, 17, then 10, then 12, but the balance was 15 meters. It seemed to be quite active with POTA, despite the contesting. Somehow I missed the one in Brazil. Maybe that's when I was walking the dog or whatever, but I don't know, but I totally missed that one. But as I think you did, also got the two new parks in Barbados, so that was kind of cool. Worked some far Midwest stations, worked into Alberta. That wasn't POTA, but that was some guy calling Field Day. I went back to him just to see if he could hear me. Same with the station out of Ireland who was calling Field Day. I went back to him as well just to make sure I was being heard, and that was on 10 meters. So, yep, very productive day, Mac, and I do agree that this thing of moving our get-together to coincide with the Support Your Parks weekend in the Four Quarters is an excellent idea. So anything else before I move on, Mac?
That'll do it for me for the time being. Just waving a hand to Al, and you've already mentioned that Geeks checked in online, so I guess the day is complete. Thanks again. VA3IMW, back to net control.
Okay, thanks, Mac, and thanks for checking in. And I don't know whoever came up with that idea last night. I don't know who it was, but I don't remember at this point in time, but that was a great idea. And as you say, it serves two purposes. And there's probably even an incentive for more people to come out, especially the folks that do POTA or are interested in doing POTA. Anyway, let's move on and see if there's anyone else that would like to check into the Lake Ontario Radio Club. Net, come now.
VA3 LBI.
VA3 LBI, VA3 IUK. Good evening, Larry.
Good evening, Bill. Everybody on the net tonight. Just kind of sat down here, played a little radio, little nuts. People are crazy. You got POTA stations and the Wheeler Winter Field Day all on one, and it's crazy.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. But one thing that I mentioned to Mac prior to the net, because of all the people, many of them combining Field Day with POTA, I picked up like 20 new parks today, and 8 of those were in Florida, believe it or not. So, because I picked up PZN, I think, on 20 and then on 17 meters. Oh, the interesting thing I was telling Mac was, I heard you working Dell, and I was about to go back to him, and all of a sudden he just dropped out. I could hear other stations going back to him, but I could not hear him. Came back about 10 minutes later, and the signal was back up, and I was able to work him. So just one of those sort of weird anomalies, Larry.
Bill, it was like that kind of most of the day. I shouldn't say most of it. When I was on, I heard Mac, I think he was working Barbados, and I called the guy, and I don't know whether he came back to me because he just faded out to nothing. So I decided, okay, well, I'll leave here, went around a couple other stations, listened along, whatever, and then went back to, and I finally got the guy in Barbados. But you're right, same thing, and I heard Del do that. I worked him, and then all of a sudden, like you say, he just disappeared. I never stuck around to see if he came back up, but I seen people were spotting him, so I figured he must have.
Yeah, he did come back up. I did the same as you. I went and worked a couple other stations and came back, and then lo and behold, he was there because I'm getting pretty close to. I've worked him 100 times, so trying to break that 100 mark. But it was nice to get James on 2 new bands today. Well, not new bands, but new parks on 2 bands. So that was kind of cool.
Well, I flipped over to FT8 to see if I could have some fun, but it was like, you know what? This is boring. I think I made 2 or 3 contacts and went, that's enough of this. I ain't going to do this no more. I flipped back over, went over the phone, because I just got bored out of my brain sitting there waiting for somebody to answer or trying to pick somebody. I thought, I ain't doing this. I just flipped back over to the phone after. So I must have spent maybe 15, 20 minutes on FT8. That was it. And it wasn't even solid. I was trying to pick a few people and trying to pick up a couple of parks. And of course, 20 is too close. You're right over top of their heads if you're trying to work a boat on, well, not all the time, but a lot of the time on 20 meters on FT8.
Yeah, roger to that, yeah. Well, the only reason I'm thinking about FT8 is because I don't do as good as some of you guys, simply because of the location here in Dundas. And I'm thinking FT8 to pick up some of the stuff that I'm, still trying to get. Like I'm waiting. I'm still looking for Idaho, California, Hawaii, and Alaska. So it may be an excuse to get my act together and get on FT8 for that, Larry. Anyway, anything else before I move on?
No, sir. That's it. I'll pass it back to you. Thanks for doing it, Bill. E3LBI.
Okay, Larry. Thanks a lot for checking in. I'd like to recognize that Matt, V3SMN, has checked in, along with, I guess that's it. Just Matt. Okay. Good evening, Matt, and maybe we'll get an audio check-in from you in a little bit. Anyways, with that, is there anyone else that'd like to check into Lake Ontario Radio Club Net? Come now. Yeah, stand by, Chuck. Was there a station in there that doubled with Chuck? Come now.
Just me, Sierra Mike November.
Okay, Matt, stand by. We'll pick up Chuck, and then it'll be your turn. Good evening, Chuck. How are you doing? Yeah, just curious. You said a jar of honey. Do you get the pasteurized or unpasteurized? Yeah, because pasteurized honey, they take a lot of the good ingredients out of it when they pasteurize it. I was just curious, Chuck. Doesn't matter. It was just that was more of a curiosity thing. But yeah, you're sounding better. It's amazing. You know, I've known a lot of diabetic people in my life, and when you were talking about your blood sugar starting to bottom out, I could actually hear it in your voice, sort of that bit of like shakiness. So yeah, I understand that, and I've been around a lot of diabetics in my life, and it's one of the things that goes along with, you know, type 2 diabetes that gets advanced, or juvenile diabetes causes a lot of, you know, blindness as well. So I'm aware of it. So I'm glad you're okay now. Yeah, just quickly before I move on, is that do you have type 2 diabetes? Yeah, very good, Chuck. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you manage diabetes well, and that's good. I know that years ago, I think it's not as bad, but years ago, you know, there was a lot more blindness caused by diabetic retinopathy. I think it might be on the decline because of advances, just like things that you're talking about there that help you to control your diabetes better. So good for you, Chuck, and I'm glad that you manage it well. Anyway, with that, let's. I'd like to recognize Wayne, VA3FMB, who's also signed in. Good evening, Wayne. Glad to see you aboard. So with that, let's stand by and see if there's anyone else that would like to check into Lake Ontario Radio Club Net. Come now.
You forgot Matt.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. I got dragged in with Chuck, and my bad. Sorry, Matt. V3SN V3IUK. Good evening.
Not my lucky day today. One guy forgets me, one guy steps all over me. Oh, my goodness. Not to worry, guys. Built Ford tough, as they say. Good evening, everyone on net, everyone on the stream. I hope everyone's staying warm and doing just fine. And Chuck, my mom was diabetic for many years, since as long as I can remember, probably since I was in grade school, and that struggle is real. So good for you for keeping on top of it, because that's a full-time job. I'll let you get back to the net, guys. I'll be here listening. VA3CJZ. Back to you, Bill.
There, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Fortunately, I just had a physical earlier this week, and the result of the blood work was that my sugar levels are good. So, but I known some people in my family that have struggled with the type 2 diabetes, and believe it or not, diet does have a lot to do with it. So if you can control it quite a bit through diet as well. But that's a topic for another day. You said somebody else stepped on you. Were you on HF today? Because it was crowded. It was like people elbowing each other today, metaphorically speaking, Matt.
Yes, you got that right. I was on, did more listening than contacting, and but I have a Zygu G90 radio in my truck, and it hasn't been working properly. It transmits when it wants to, and sometimes I gotta give it a smack for it to work. So I took it apart today and did a little exploratory surgery, and I think I got it. So I put it all back in the truck, and first one I tried, station in Illinois, it got through and it worked great, so I was pretty happy about that. But that was the only one.
Oh, very good. Well, I'm glad, because I actually hear good things about that radio, so I think if I was to go QRP, it would be one that I would look at. Just curious, what kind of antenna are you using on the truck? Are you using a screwdriver?
Well, it's a CB radio antenna, believe it or not, and that Zygu will tune it right up to down to 40 meters, I should say. It's an 8-foot steel whip, 11-meter standard run-of-the-mill CB antenna, and it works quite well.
Oh, good for you. So that's great. You'll enjoy that more in the nicer weather when you can be out more in the truck and not in this cold weather. But yeah, so it sounds like you got it fixed. Keep us posted.
Yeah, hopefully it stays. I think it was just maybe a little bit of a corroded connection inside the radio. I couldn't see any corrosion, but I did find a YouTube video about coax, the little tiny, minuscule, microscopic coax cables that run in the radio where they connect. I think that's all it was. And so far it's working, but that radio's been in my truck now for probably maybe 4 years, and this is the first issue I've had with it. Mind you, most of it's just been receiving, but it does a good job.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's good, and you've got all set with your tuner and that. Well, you're going to enjoy that in the summer, that's for sure. But anyway, thanks for checking in, Matt, and you have yourself a good evening, and stay warm.
Thank you very much, Bill, and same to you. Stay warm and stay healthy, and we'll catch you on the next one. VE3, Sierra Mike November. I'll be here listening.
Yep, 7-3, and thanks for checking in. Anyone else for the Lake Ontario Radio Club Net? Come now. All right, nothing heard. So what I'll do is I'll give a last call. Any rechecks, comments? Anyone needs to be rated? No, I'm just kidding about that. Anyway, just before we close the net down, any other check-ins come now? All right, nothing heard. Like to thank Terry, V3IQL, for the use of the repeater. Thanks to all you folks that checked in. And with that, this is V3IUK, Bill in Dundas, returning this repeater and all associated frequencies back to normal amperage 7-3, and good evening all.
All right, well, thanks for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Good night, all. VA3CJZ.